What's up, Falcons Nation? It's your boy Jew coming at you with another Atlanta Falcons video. As always, Falcons Nation, rise up. In today's video, I would like to talk about Rich McKay, but if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you know when I've done Atlanta Falcons content, hit that like button for your boy. I do appreciate each and every one of you guys for your continued support, continuing to share out my content on all the social media platforms. If you'd like to follow your boy on Twitter and Instagram, you can follow me at Jew Talk Sports. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can donate to my Cash App, which is the $ Jew Talk Sports. And if you'd like to be a part of my Jew Talk Sports membership, you can hit that join tab here on the channel as well. But with that being said, let's jump right into the video. So as I mentioned in today's video, I do want to talk about President and CEO of the Atlanta Falcons, Rich McKay. So yesterday, Arthur Blank and Rich McKay did a press conference after the firing of head coach Arthur Smith. And basically, in this press conference, it's basically just exposed that Rich McKay is running the Atlanta Falcons team. He's basically Arthur Blank's right-hand man. Rich McKay has been with the Falcons since 2003. So he's been with the team for about 20 years or over 20 years at this point. And he's mainly is making most of the football decisions. That's what was exposed in this press conference. I don't think that this is a bad thing that Rich McKay is making the decisions because Terry Fontenot, who's currently our GM, wasn't at this press conference. It basically just exposed that most of the power when it comes to football decisions are being handled by Rich McKay. They stated that Terry Fontenot would be involved in the new head coach interviews and things of that nature, that he will have a partial decision or be a part of making the decision of who the next head coach will be. But personally, I really feel like everything is coming down to Rich McKay and Arthur Blank. I don't feel like Terry Fontenot has much power on this team. He doesn't have much of a say-so. So at this point, we know as far as being accountable and holding these guys accountable, at this point, because they exposed that Rich McKay and Arthur Blank are making the final decisions. They stated that Terry Fontenot doesn't have the ability to hire or fire a coach. It wasn't his decision to fire Arthur Smith, and it basically wasn't his decision to hire Arthur Smith either. We basically know at this point that we shouldn't point the fingers at Terry Fontenot. At this point, we should be looking at the owner, Arthur Blank, and looking at Rich McKay. Now, I do believe that Rich McKay does understand the game of football. He's a guy that's been around the game for many, many years. His father was a former coach. He was the GM of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and he did help them win their first Super Bowl back in 2002 with those guys of Warren Sapp and Derek Brooks and all of those guys, Rondé Barber, John Lynch and that team, and John Gruden as their head coach. He did help them win their first Super Bowl when he was with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So I do believe that he understands the game of football. He was here as well for both of our NFC championship games and our Super Bowl appearance. So he helped build the team with Matt Ryan back in 2012, Michael Turner, Julio Jones, Roddy White, Tony Gonzalez, and those guys. And then he also was here in 2016 when we had Dan Quinn, we had Kyle Shanahan and Matt Ryan and that group of guys, Julio Jones, Mohamed Sanu. So he was here for two of the teams that we went. We got to a Super Bowl and got to two NFC championship games. He's been here and helped this Atlanta Falcons team have success. I do feel bad for Terry Fontenot because I thought that Terry Fontenot had more power, as far as he would be one of those guys that would be making the decision of who the Falcons should be hiring, who the Falcons should be interviewing. But it looks like at this point, Rich McKay, mainly him and Arthur Blank, are making most of the decisions. Now, I am glad that it came out that there are the ones behind the scenes that are making majority of these decisions, so that the fans will stop looking to Terry Fontenot or stop blaming Terry Fontenot for some of the moves that the Atlanta Falcons organization are making. Because at this point, we know that it's not Terry Fontenot behind these decisions. It's mainly Arthur Blank, the owner of our team, and Rich McKay. Now, I do hope that Arthur Blank and Rich McKay, hire the right candidate as the next head coach for this team. I do feel like this Atlanta Falcons team has a lot of talent. We've done a good job in the draft. So I do feel like Terry Fontenot may have had a hand in some of these players that we've drafted, because we know he's a former scout when he was with the New Orleans Saints. And I think he's done a great job as far as scouting these players and drafting these players. But with that being said, you guys give me your thoughts on Rich McKay basically being the president of the Atlanta Falcons and the guy behind the scenes making all the football decisions. Because at this point, as I mentioned, this press conference just solidified that it's him behind the scenes making these decisions for this Atlanta Falcons team. So at this point, we know who to look towards. Is mainly Arthur Blank, the owner of the team, which every owner in the NFL, no decision really gets made without the owner because they own the team. But with him being the president, the CEO, he might as well have GM behind his name as well, because he's mainly the one in Rich McKay behind the scenes that's making these decisions for Arthur Blank. So with that being said, you guys give me your thoughts on Rich McKay. Give me your thoughts on how the Atlanta Falcons are running our organization and running our team. Personally, I have no problem with it. I'm just glad that they was upfront and kept it real with the fans, kept it real with the media, that Terry Fontenot doesn't have the autonomy to make, the big decisions. It all comes down to he has to answer to Rich McKay. He has to answer to Arthur Blank. But you guys give me your thoughts on, as I mentioned, this Atlanta Falcons organization. Hit that like button for your boy. Hit that subscribe button for your boy. I have a lot more content coming for you guys. But as always, Falcons Nation, rise up, be blessed. Peace.